We are going to use Gemini to generate some lesson plans. I'm an ex-music teacher, so I'm going to take music as my example. And we're going to look at a GCSE music set piece. So I'm going to paste in my prompt, tell it what the piece is, ask it for a series of lessons, give it what the genre is. I'm also going to ask it to ask me any questions that it might have before I proceed. So I'm going to let that prompt run. It's now asked me some questions, so I'll put the answer to those questions in to the prompt, and I'm going to press go again. And this is what it gives me. Before I show you a quick overview of this, don't forget that at the top of each response, you've got the show drafts. You'll get 3 versions of each one, so you can actually flip between them to have a look, see which one suits you best. You don't necessarily have to take the first one you chose. Just let those load so you can see what they look like. And there you go. There you go. There are the 3 possible drafts. They will all be slightly different. So let's just have a quick glance through this. Just going through, looking at the song, referencing other songs from other musicals. So you've got a reference to other pieces in the genre, which is great. Start specifically talking about melody, harmony, and rhythm. Don't forget, these are areas that the exam spec expects you to talk about. So they would have taken these from the exam specs. I've told them what exam spec it is that we're working to. Look at orchestration and dynamics, again, part of the exam spec. Yeah, talk about the effect of it. Crucial that you talk about music in its time and its place, and what it was, the purpose that it was written for is absolutely crucial. And then performance and interpretation, of course, which feeds into the other element of performance for this particular subject, which is fantastic. And that gives me a start. I can then build that out into a nice scheme of work. That gives me lots to do. It's now broken it down into 5 lessons. However, the exam board does give specific pieces as wider reading. And whilst it's got some, or wider listening rather, whilst it's got some wider listening in there, I want to include the specific wider listening that the exam board has referenced in the exam spec. I just checked my spelling. So I've actually given them that list. Literally, I've copied and pasted the list from the exam spec, said, look, can you please include these? And there we are. Very, very similar. There might be some differences further down. I haven't checked that yet. But you remember at the beginning of the first lesson, there were a couple of references to other songs. Those have changed to be specific songs in the actual playlist that the exam board has specified. So it's refined it for me. Yeah, another one there. And Mama, I'm a Big Girl Now, I think it's from Hairspray, and so on and so forth. So it actually allows you to filter and refine just by asking it to give you extra information, which is really fantastic. And that's using Google Gemini to generate a scheme of work for a subject that you might have to teach. And of course, it would work with any subject, not just with music.